Hello, sports fans, and welcome to the Scott Sports 101 and our early games, post show, late games, update show. We're going to start with the early games, and we're going to start with the one I talked about on the pregame show, the Detroit Lions and the Indianapolis Colts. Uh, and Jahmyr Gibbs rushed for two scores, and David Montgomery added a third touchdown run Sunday, leading the Detroit Lions to a 24-6 victory at the Indianapolis Colts. Gibbs finished with 21 carries for 90 yards as the Lions moved to 10-1, extending their league high winning streak to 9 straight. Detroit has its been 11-game record since the franchise's inaugural season in 1934. Jared Goff continued his sensational season through completing 26 of 36 throws for 269 yards. The Colts lost their second straight game at home, and for the fourth time in their past 5 games. Anthony Richardson was 11 of 28 with 172 yards while rushing 10 times for 61 yards, while Indy managed to hold the NFL's highest scoring offense largely in check. Sunday was doomed by its inability to finish drives with touchdowns. And the problem happened right from the start when Richardson took the Colts inside the Lions' 5-yard line on the game's first series before settling for a short field goal. Detroit answered on its second series, getting a 1-yard TD run from Gibbs to make it a 7-3 lead early in the second quarter. Then, after Indy settled for another short field goal, Montgomery spun his way across the goal line for a 6-yard scoring run and a 14-6 lead. The Lions extended the margin with Gibbs' 5-yard TD run late in the third quarter and sealed it with a 56-yard field goal midway through the fourth. Detroit improved to 6-0 on the road as Amon-Ra St. Brown caught 6 passes for 62 yards. Michael Pittman Jr. had 6 catches for 96 yards for the Colts, despite leaving briefly in the first half with an injured shoulder. Gibbs' first score extended Detroit's league record to 25 consecutive games with a TD run, including the playoffs. He's also the third Lions player with 1,000 scrimmage yards and 10 touchdowns in each of his first 2 pro seasons, with Detroit joining Billy Sims and Barry Sanders. Gibbs and Montgomery have each scored at least 1 TD in the same game 9 times. Lions, things got ugly during a third quarter flurry. Receiver punt returner Caleb Raymond had a foot left tackle. Tyler Decker had a right leg and Montgomery's shoulder, all left in quick succession. Raymond and Montgomery did not return. Becker did. Quarterback Carlton Davis, the second, left early in the fourth with what appeared to be a left knee injury. Colts, Indy deactivated left tackle Bernard Raman from a knee injury, forcing the Colts again to use 3 rookie linemen. Receivers Ashton Doolin had an ankle injury and Josh Downs' shoulder. Both left in the second half. Downs returned. Doolin did not. So the Colts will have to regroup as they will play the New England Patriots next Sunday in Foxborough at Gillette Stadium. And the Lions will host Chicago in its traditional Thanksgiving Day game this Thursday, which will be the early game. And please tune in for my special Thanksgiving Day edition of Scott Sports 101. because you're in for a big treat with that one, with that podcast. And right now, I have to give the game balls to the Detroit Lions. I got to give them to them. So it's the line. Jared Goff, 26 of 36, carries and attempts, 269 yards. Jameer Gibbs, I think that's the right name. I said that. Yes. Jameer Gibbs, 21 attempts, 90 yards, 2 touchdowns. And Jamison Williams, 5 receptions and 64 yards. They get the game buzzed. The Colts fall to 5-7. Lions go to 10-1. Uh, and I took the Lions and won on that one. So did my brother-in-law. We both won on that. Both won on that one. The Kansas City Chiefs in the final seconds kicked the field goal to beat the Carolina Panthers 30-27. Kansas City goes to 9-1. And the Lions go to, I think, 3-5 on the season. I think. No, 3-8 on the season. Excuse me, 3-8. And I give the game balls to Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelsey, and Rashad Rasheed. I give them to them. Just moments ago. And well, hold on a minute. Before I took Kansas City and won, so did my brother-in-law. We both took that. That was the one we agreed on. Now, just a few moments ago, in overtime, the Minnesota Vikings kicked a field goal to beat the Chicago Bears and keep their win streak alive, 30-27, and keep pace in the NFC. Uh, uh, boy, 30-27 in overtime, and boy, this one really came down to the wire in this game. It could have gone either way, but just in the final seconds of the fourth quarter, the Bears were able to tie it up with a field goal and send it to overtime. And then, with about I think 4:53 remaining, that's when they kicked the field goal and they won it. The Minnesota Vikings. So I took Minnesota, and so did my brother-in-law. We both won on that one. Uh, the Houston Texans unfortunately lost to the Tennessee Titans 32-27. Tried to score in the fourth quarter, but were not able to do it in the final seconds. And the Titans got a safety from the previous play Houston had made before they got the ball back. And I took Houston, and so did my brother-in-law. We both lost on that one. The Miami Dolphins beat the New England Patriots at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami, 34-15. And it was not a good day for the Patriots as they were held to just 15 points, just 2 touchdowns and 2 extra points. And I took Miami, and so did my brother-in-law, Eric Hoyle. Uh, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers all over the New York Giants today at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey, 30-7. The Baker Mayfield and the Bucks were just unstoppable. It was just lights out from the get-go in this game. And I took the Buccaneers and won, so did my brother-in-law. And rounding out the early games, the Dallas Cowboys beat the Washington Commanders at Northwest Stadium in Maryland, 34-26. Washington had a chance, but they could not do it in that final seconds. They couldn't get over the hurdle. And I took Washington, and I lost. So did my brother-in-law took the Cowboys. He won on that one. I am 6-2 right now. My brother-in-law Eric Hoyle is 7-1 right now in the picks. And that wraps up the early games. Now to update you on the late games, it is 7-6 Broncos. I mean 7-6 Raiders. Excuse me, not the Broncos. Raiders are winning. Denver's going to be kicking off. Second quarter, 9:21 remaining until halftime. Raiders have the ball, and I think Denver might have scored. I think it was a touchdown or a field goal in that one. Uh, uh, it was a They kicked a field goal. They've been held to 2 field goals so far, and so that's where we stand. And we'll see if because I have the Broncos, and so does my brother-in-law Eric Hoyle. And right now, and then the Green Bay Packers right now are being the San Francisco 49ers 10-0 in the second quarter with 13:29 to go until halftime. And San Francisco, they need to start scoring because I took San Francisco and so did my brother-in-law. And they're playing at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And right now it is second quarter, 12:58 to go. Oh, and it's a first and 10 to Green Bay 29. The Packers have the ball. And it's scoreless right now at Lumen Field in Seattle, between Arizona and Seattle. Third and 14 at the Seattle 9. Seahawks have the ball. And there's 12:58 left to go in the second quarter until halftime. So, and as I mentioned, Sunday Night Football, Philadelphia and the Rams, SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. Tomorrow night, Monday Night Football, Battle of the Harbaugh brothers, John Harbaugh versus Jim Harbaugh, Ravens and Chargers, SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California. Well, that's just about gonna wrap it up for the Scott Sports 101 uh, early NFL early games post game show, late games post game show, late games update show, excuse me. And I'll be back with the late games post game show and the Sunday Night Football pregame show once all 3 late games have concluded. But until then, always remember, be a team player each and every day in every way possible. So long, everybody. 3, 2, 1. I'm done.